This is BullionMax, the podcast. Hi, I'm Mark Allen, along with Sean Reynolds, the customer service manager for BullionMax. Sean, welcome back to the show.
Good to be here, Mark. Good to see you as well.
This week, the world was shocked when Queen Elizabeth II from Britain died. She was 96. She had been reigning for over 70 years in England and all the Commonwealth countries. She reigned longer than anybody else. And we're going to talk about how her death is really going to affect the value of some of the coins minted from around the world. The British way of coinage, of minting, is the reigning monarch. Their picture is put on the coin. So it is assumed at this point that King Charles, will have his picture put on new mintage from around the world. Here in the United States, we put dead people on.
We've always have dead presidents. Remember that movie years ago?
One?
Exactly, dead presidents.
Yes,
they were getting that money. You know,
yep.
And everyone knows that. For America, for some reason, ever since we decided to put Lincoln on money, it's always been people who have passed who are on the face of our money.
Right. We have Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Washington, Ben Franklin, Hamilton. I'm probably missing some.
Because Susan B. Anthony, Sacagawea. I mean, even when we got beyond presidents, it was still dead people.
JFK, the coin.
Naturally, yep.
Right. So there are a lot of coins, but most of all these people have passed. Mm-hmm. How do you think this is going to affect the value of coins that have been minted with the portraiture of Queen Elizabeth II?
Well, what tends to happen, Mark, is first year of issue and last year of issue of particular coins can make them more special to people who are collecting them. But then again, it may not. Still, we are talking about the usual and customary stuff. So we're not going to start charging more for it because this has happened. But we have noticed an uptick in the purchase of coins versus bars and rounds in products that she is still featured on. So it seems that some people are kind of already hip to the gist of that, and they want to buy in on that before it's too late. And why not? If the price is about the same, I would think you'd go for that thing that just might have a little extra collectible value, but isn't costing you a dime more.
Now that's at this point, but
yes, right now, yes.
Right now. So there's an opportunity, but later on, gold coins from the Canadian Mint, the Perth Mint, etc.
She's on there. She is on a significant portion of the bullion that we make available through BullionMax.
Wow.
It's fantastic. I mean, she's on most of it. You get outside the United States and Austria and Krugerrand and things of that nature. Otherwise, the Queen's on it.
Wow.
Amazing. Especially since we have a lot of products from the Royal Mint in the UK, a lot of things from the Perth Mint, also from Niue, now that little country over by New Zealand. Also, she's on that as well. So fantastic. I mean, she's all over the coinage from BullionMax.
Do you think that her death is going to make her coins, which are collectibles anyway, more valuable? And that's a loaded question.
Could it? Sure. Do I know for sure? No, absolutely not. But we did notice that sales increased for the American Eagles last year. Last year, we had the reboot of the coin, and so we had Type 1 American Eagles, and those were the traditional design, the ones that were in place ever since 1986. But with the reboot and the new design, last year came a Type 2. And now, here in 2022, the Type 1 design, or the original design, has been retired. So what's unique about 2021's is It's the last year for type 1, and it's the first year for type 2, both of which could be collectibles in the future.
It would seem to me that both of those have limited editions, the first year and the last year.
Well, I think the mint is only going to want to manufacture so many 1 ounce gold or gold and silver coins. So I
Gotcha.
think there's some truth to that, Mark, that you probably see lower mintages for each of those, but I've not run the numbers to say that for sure.
I have to tell the story that a couple of days ago I received some change, and in that change was 10 penny piece Canadian um, that slipped in. I'm not sure how, but it did. And
Mm-hmm.
I remembered it. And when you gave us our topic today, I thought that was, it was kind of coincidental. But I looked at the coin. On one side of that coin was a sailboat. I can't make out what it said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the second side features the likeness of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, but it's also inscribed with her name.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting. She's also on coins that probably will never have value over what it is.
Sure, currency, absolutely. People tend to forget that not only do the pound notes and shillings and things of that nature have the monarch on it as well, but anything from Canada also, just the standard money. She's on there too. And these are things that probably, to your point, likely won't be special because it's standard currency. But going forward, people are going to say, "Oh, that's the last year the Queen was on there." You might want to hang on to that one.
Right.
Spend that one last. How about
Yes,
that? Spend that one
exactly. Put
last,
that
just
one in
in
the
case.
safe deposit box. Uh, the uh, we should mention there's a in-depth article by uh, our staff writer George. If you go
Mhm.
to BullionMax.com and go to the blog, there's a multi-page article, and some of the history about this is fascinating. All the queens um, faces, she's facing to the right.
Mhm.
Okay. And the tradition is when the next monarch comes in, they face on their coins, and I would assume to their currency, to the left.
Mhm.
Should be very, very interesting.
It's going to be a striking change. I mean, most of us have not lived long enough to see whoever the last person was looking in the other direction. We're
Right.
so used to Queen Elizabeth looking in that
Yeah.
direction. And so I also understand that these need to be officially sanctioned portraits, not just any old random shot. You can do whatever you
Right.
like with the Queen. She looks fantastic. Of course, you're not going to get to do that. It's all upper class. You know, we're talking royalty. So there certainly
Yes.
was a process put into place to make sure that whoever it's such and such an artist's rendition of the Queen here, and such an artist's rendition of the Queen here. And we have that type of detail on Bullion Max when we're talking about who's on the reverse and the obverse and things of that nature. We'll tell you which portrait of the Queen is in there in the extra product detail. You tend to forget not to scroll down if what you
Mhm.
want to see so you can make a purchase is right there. But if you scroll down a little bit, you see all the great extra information that we put out there to inform you a little bit more about the coin in case you don't know exactly what you're buying and you want to learn some more.
This week, you spoke prior to the Queen's death, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah. You basically had this conversation with one of your clients.
yeah, I sure did. I was talking about some of the great artwork that's on some of these silver coins, and it just so happened everything we were talking about had Queen Elizabeth on the back. And I said, I don't know what your thoughts are about that because some people have some political thoughts, some people are out of favor with the royal family, whatever it is. I first of all, I tell them, you need to get over that because this is silver and it's a commodity. It really, she's somewhat irrelevant, but now she's kind of relevant,
Yeah.
oddly enough, because it may be last year of issue for those coins. So again, though they're not normally special, just because of that, now it might be. But the conversation days ago was, it really doesn't matter, but now it might. And so, to George's point in the article, there are huge implications about this. I mean, I'm excited to see what the Perth Mint is going to be doing, because they're usually the first to issue the next year's coins, but they usually come out in fall.
So you were telling me that before we started
Yeah.
our show, and the fact that they kind of jumped the gun on everybody. You think they're going to melt the coins down and
Have no idea. This is a tune in and see how this plays out, folks, because the I believe Year of the Rabbit is the next coin in the lunar calendar. I know they've already announced it to us as dealers, and we certainly plan to carry it, but I don't know if they're going to halt the release date now, melt them down, use the officially sanctioned version of King Charles on the backside, and try to get as close to reissuing as possible. Now, other countries who may not be so eager to get next year's model out, you consider the strategy. I mean, again, I'm a former corporate cat, so
right.
I'm wondering if they're like, okay, well, I don't know if we can get this done in time. What if we just made extra 2022 and maybe we announce the 2023 with King Charles sometime in February?
Right.
Maybe. I don't know, because if it really is the same, it's a $1 bill, a $5 bill, a $10 bill, a 10-pound note, whatever it is, it's not that they wouldn't have any. You just need to follow the rules. And so it will be interesting to see if the rules for currency are different for the rules for bullion. I'm not sure.
Right.
But
And if they will
see. We're going to see.
Right. And if they will release those early,
right,
because they've already been struck.
Yeah.
With Queen Elizabeth portrait on it.
Sure. And maybe they'd make a type 2 of those.
Right. This is BullionMax. We invite you to visit our website, BullionMax.com. And if you're lucky enough, you'll speak to my cohort and co-host and
could be
and friend and partner. That would be Sean. And Sean, are people? I don't know how many people called in just after the announcement of the Queen passing, but any calls yet?
I've had a couple of conversations with people about it. Otherwise, it really is questions about how do I purchase precious metals that I'm going to hold myself. Lots of questions about storage this week. Where do I put this? I don't know if I'm comfortable putting it anywhere, and I share with people where I put it. I'm not going to put it on the internet where I put it, but
it's not in his bedroom.
Mark, no. No, the point is, I think when people haven't yet received it and they don't know how much or how little space it takes up, they just kind of go, "Oh my God, how am I going to keep this secret? Do I need a box at the bank? Do I need a?" And I just say, just hold off those kind of thoughts until you receive it. You'll find something temporary that may end up being your permanent place, but please don't sweat it. People buy and hold this stuff all the time. And also, most people don't want it too far away from themselves right now, given the current climate. You want to make sure that you're within arm's length of your metal, just in case you need it.
So maybe not keeping it in a bank safety deposit box.
You'd have to, yeah, you'd
Some
have
people
to
do,
look
some
at
people don't.
their work hours when they're available in terms of being able to get at it. If you have it in a safety deposit box, does that have different hours? Do you have to speak with particular people to get in and get at it? That sounds like too many steps between me and my metal to me, but that's me. But I'm also hearing a lot of people are purchasing gun safes. inexpensive gun safes at Sam's and Costco, things of that nature. They're kind of nice because they're vertical and they've got a great lock on it. So you can truly stack up depending upon what you're buying and how much you're buying. But there's a great lock on it. They're heavy and nobody's just going to walk away with it. So,
That's, that's another option.
mhm.
We're talking about the royalty, specifically the royalty of England, with the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. How is this going to affect coins from all the various English mints, or well, we won't call them, we'll call them Commonwealth mints,
Sure.
Canada, Perth, the Royal Mint. Um, Anything we haven't, thought about, anything we haven't discussed regarding this, and will it present an opportunity for increased growth, not only because of the metal that's
Mhm.
in the coin, but because of the collectability?
Well, I think since the option is there for a current year bullion item to be more valuable because it is the end of an era. Let's say there's a few dollars difference between a gold bar and a gold coin that happens to have Queen Elizabeth II on the back. All right, if the price difference isn't too much, you may want to get the coin just because, for
The
that very
coin
reason.
with the
Yeah, with the queen
picture
on
on
the
the
back.
coin.
So
Yes.
it might be a good time to pick up a kangaroo or a maple or a Britannia. Those would be the obvious ones. But I'm sure there would be others. But the point is, that's the opportunity that's kind of sitting before you. So before you go running by gold bars and all gold bars, you may want to consider, well, how much more, if it's more, is a gold coin. I think kangaroos are about the same as a 1 ounce gold bar. Um, and maples and Britannias are just a little bit more. But that would be something to consider, I think, when investing in gold in the very near future or before the end of the year.
The coins you just mentioned that are higher value, is that because of the collectability? I mean, the amount of gold in each coin, it's gold is gold?
Yeah, the amount of gold is the same. It's just the premiums are different because the different mints charge us different amounts for
Uh,
what we're buying from them directly. So, our markup or what we're looking to make on them may be the same, but it's just they cost us more, so they cost you more.
got it.
Mm-hmm. And that
Um,
that always varies from coin to coin or item to item.
there's some really interesting history about this. Um, when Queen Elizabeth II took office or was promoted,
The
ascended.
coronation, yes, the
No, the
coronation.
coronation's a year after the death. Um, so that's interesting too. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean,
So when she assumed the throne, how about if we say that?
yes, when she assumed her throne, that was 1953.
Oof.
Yeah, I know, just amazing. And um, London was England. The world was rebuilding itself from World War II. And there are a lot of these tips, by the way, as I said in George's article, his blog, on how
Mhm.
Queen Elizabeth's passing changes gold coins forever. Will it actually change specifically gold coins, or is it the same as everything else, John?
Well, I think silver too. But it seems that gold's the king. It has the bigger impact worldwide, and excuse me, I think it is going to be a big change because it hasn't changed for 70 years. I mean, we'll probably get some special issue bullion, which may be slightly higher premium, but it's designed to be a collectible, so those will cost more. And then you'll just have the first year of issues with King Charles going forward.
Sean, we are out of time, but this has been a most fascinating conversation. Um, uh, Talking about all the coins that feature the likeness of Queen Elizabeth II. Thank you, Sean, for visiting with us today.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, Mark.
I'm Mark Allen. Be sure to join us at BullionMax.com. And I think you should subscribe, don't you?
I think they should subscribe as well. It's a good idea.
It is a good idea. And there's also a blog you can subscribe to, and you can find that at BullionMax.com. I'm Mark Allen for Sean Reynolds. We'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.